Hi friends and families, I'm Michelle Newman from HARTZ Physical Therapy and also a friend of Erin's Acres. I've been teaching yoga to kids and families since 2010 and I'm so excited to share with you a yoga practice that you can do together at home, or kids can do this alone. All you need is a floor, or you can do this even sitting in a chair. Wherever you are, make sure that you're moving your body in a really comfortable way. So if there's anything that I'm showing you that doesn't feel good in your body, then please make your adjustments so that you feel good, whatever it is that you're doing. We'll begin in a crisscross applesauce or easy pose position and start with listening to the magic singing bowl that I have right here. I'll make a sound, and this is how we exercise our ears. So you'll close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe out and listen. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Open your eyes. And now we'll begin to exercise our bodies by doing some gentle movements, some gentle stretches in your crisscross or easy pose position. Hands on your knees, please. And let's go around and around to one side. We'll go around and around and around and around and around and around we go. And stop. And to the other side. Around and around and around and around and around and around and stop. Next, let's stretch our bodies on the sides. Let's go side to side and side to side and side to side and stop. We'll twist and turn our bodies next. So to work our spines in one direction and then the other, let's twist and turn and twist and turn and twist and turn and stop. Stretch your legs long out in front of you. And I have my knees straight, but you can always bend your knees a little bit or a lot, depending on how your legs are feeling. So we are all built differently. So make sure that you're taking care of you. Reach your arms to the sky, reach high, wiggle your fingers and your toes and your nose. Let's go forward and up. If you need to bend your knees more, you can. Forward and up and forward and up and stop. Count with me to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Open up your legs wide like a big giant pair of scissors. Now, you can keep your legs open really wide or close them just a little bit. Pay attention to your muscles and how they're feeling and adjust as you need to. Again, let's go side to side in this position now. Side to side and side to side and side to side and stop. Forward and up this time. Forward and up and forward and up and forward and up and stop. Again, we'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Close your legs together, bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, your hands behind your hips. So we're going to use our strong arms, legs, and bellies to press all the way up into a tabletop position and then down. Strong arms lift you up and lower down. You can always stay just right here if you'd like and push up just a little bit or all the way up and down and up and down and up and down and stop. Now, if you can hold here with me, lift one leg to the sky. You can keep your hips down if you'd like, or hips all the way up, and roll your ankle to say hi. Foot down, Other side, roll your ankle and say high, lower down, and let's press all the way back up. Up you go. Lift leg to the sky and find a friend or family member or me to give a foot five. So just like you give a high five, you say bam, foot five. Don't forget the other side, bam. One more time, foot five to me, bam, and lower down. Stretch your legs out in front of you. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Let's make some noise as we breathe in. Breathe out, open your mouth and say, ha, and shake your knees. Breathe in. Breathe out, ha. And one more time, breathe in. Breathe out, ha. 2 feet on the ground, stand up tall, mountain pose, reach fingers high and wiggle fingers, wiggle toes and wiggle nose. So we are moving into a sun salutation, starting in our mountain pose. And this is how we warm our bodies up in yoga in a fun and gentle, not too fast, not too slow kind of way. We also do this so that we can give thanks to the sun and to the earth. Let's go. Thank you, sun, for shining bright, mountain pose. Thank you, earth, for holding me tight. 1, 2, hands down. 3, 4, knees back to the floor. Lower down to the ground. 5, 6, 7, 8. Press up like a snake, cobra pose. Wag your tail in downward dog. Look forward and jump like a frog. Thank you, sun, for shining bright, mountain pose. Thank you, earth, for holding me tight, forward fold. 1, 2, hands down. 3, 4, feet back, knees and chest down to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, press up like a snake, cobra pose. Wag your tail in downward dog. Look forward and jump like a frog. Thank you, sun, for shining bright. Thank you, earth, for holding me tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, knees and chest down to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, press up like a snake. Wag your tail in downward dog. Look forward and jump like a frog. Reach your arms up, mountain pose, deep breath in through your nose. And fold forward to touch your toes. Reach up, mountain pose. Breathe in through your nose. Fold forward and touch your toes. And crisscross, applesauce, easy pose once again. And I have a breathing ball with me, and we'll do a little bit of practicing our breath together. First, before we use this, bring one hand to your heart, one hand over your belly, and let's see if we can feel our heart beating a little bit faster since we just warmed our bodies up. You can close your eyes and notice how fast is your breath moving, how fast is your heart beating. Breathe in like you're smelling a flower. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Open your eyes. And this is my breathing ball. I'd like to use it to show you how our lungs inside of our bodies work. So inside of your ribs, your rib cage, deep beneath your rib cage, lives your lungs. Almost like a balloon inside of your body that fills up with air when you breathe in and it empties air out when you breathe out. So bring your hands over your rib cage and just feel how hard your bones are. And then notice when you breathe in through your nose, your lungs get a little bit bigger, and as you breathe out, they get a little bit smaller. You can keep your hands over your ribs, and I'll show you an example of how our lungs fill with air and empty out air. Breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out. Good. Let's do that again. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. So as you've noticed already, we've exercised our ears and our bodies and now our lungs. And the reason why we practice breathing in yoga is to help ourselves learn ways to calm our bodies and our minds and to find this peaceful place of relaxation. And sometimes all it takes is a few breaths. In fact, science tells us about 5 breaths can help us calm our bodies and our minds. If maybe we might be feeling overly excited or even angry or sad or tired sometimes. Sometimes we just need to take a few breaths, and there's so many different ways that we can do it. So I've already showed you with the breathing ball how we can practice breathing. You can do that with your hands over your ribs if you don't have a ball like this to open and close. You could even hold your hands together and open wide and close. Or we've also used our hand over heart and hand over belly. That's another great way to practice breathing and finding ways to calm ourselves down. And I'll show you some other ways too as we continue to do yoga together. Let's begin to stand up on our feet, 2 feet on the ground. Stand up tall in mountain pose. Reach your arms to the sky. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, and wiggle nose. Stand tall, mountain pose. Bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose. Bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose. Touch your nose. And strike a child's pose. Come to your hands and your knees and tuck your knees under your chest. Stretch your arms out in front of you and let your forehead take a rest. This is our child's pose or our seed pose when we imagine that we're tiny seeds resting underneath the ground, deep beyond the earth. Take a breath in through your nose and a breath out. And notice how cozy and warm and safe you feel in your child's pose, resting like a seed into the earth beneath the soil. And know that one day, after all the rain and the sunshine, you will be able to pop right out of the ground and grow and bloom and reach for the sky. Imagine you hear the rain and feel it on your back. Take a breath in through your nose and a breath out. And as the sun comes out, you begin to perk right up, look forward, come to your hands and your knees, and back to your seat, please. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Breathe in through your nose and close your eyes. Breathe out. Open your eyes and stand up, 2 feet on the ground. Back to mountain pose. Stand tall, mountain pose. Bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose. Bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose, touch your nose. Strike a flower pose. From your seed, your tiny little seed, you can now grow a flower. Pick one foot up, stretch and reach your arm straight out in the center, and then wrap your arm underneath your leg. So here's one version of a flower pose. You can stay right here, or you can reach your other arm and wrap it under your other leg. Toes can stay on the ground, or you can pick your toes up, touch your toes together. You might wobble from side to side. This is a very challenging balancing pose. So you could even rock forward and back, wiggle your flower petals forward and back, side to side, or just keep your toes down onto the ground and take a big breath in through your nose. Breathe out. Crisscross applesauce easy pose. Now we'll make a flower with our hands. So the heels of your hands or your wrists can touch together. Wiggle your pinkies, touch your pinkies together. Wiggle your thumbs and touch your thumbs together. Here's your flower. Imagine your favorite color flower and imagine your favorite type of flower. Take a breath in and smell your flower. Smell the sweetness. And open your mouth and sigh it out. Let's do that again. Flower breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. So remember, we were talking about so many different ways to breathe, to calm our bodies, our minds, to relax. And this is another one that you can do, your flower breath. All you have to do is imagine your favorite colored flower and your favorite kind of flower, and just take a few breaths in and out and think of how sweet it smells. Let's stand tall again, mountain pose. Arms up, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, wiggle nose. Stand tall, mountain pose. Bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose, bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose, touch your nose, and strike a tree pose. Toes can stay down, heel can kick right up above your ankle, and stretch your branches out to the side. If you like a good challenge and want to try balancing even more, you can bring your foot in between your ankle and your knee. So this might feel a little more wobbly to you. You could even stretch and reach your tree branches up to the sun and to the sky. And feel yourself wobbling from one side to the other. If you fall down, it's totally fine. No big deal. This is how we learn things sometimes. We fall down, get back up, and try again. Now in yoga, when we do one side, we do the other. So 3, 2, 1, jump. Switch to the other side. You might notice that this side feels either harder or easier than the other side did. So let's jump, switch to the other side, jump, switch, and does it feel more wobbly or more steady? And to the other side, 3, 2, 1, jump, switch, and mountain pose. Stretch and reach your arms up. Reach tall to the sky, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, wiggle nose. Bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose. Bend forward, touch your toes. Stand tall, mountain pose. Bend forward, touch your toes. And strike another child's pose or your seed pose that you did earlier. Remember, you tucked your knees under your chest, stretched your arms long, and gave your forehead a rest. From tiny little seeds, flowers can grow just like you grew a flower earlier from your tiny seed into your flower pose. Of course, seeds can grow into trees just like you did in your tree pose. Of course, vegetables and fruits grow from tiny seeds. So it's pretty amazing, from one tiny little seed, something so beautiful or tasty or big can grow right from the ground. All the seed needs is a little bit of water, rain, and the sun. So after a beautiful storm passes by, after thunder and lightning and rain,
and dark clouds comes the sun. And the seed always knows that once the storm passes, it can grow bigger and brighter. Take a breath in through your nose and breathe out. Look forward and come onto your hands and your knees. And if you noticed in your child's pose that you were feeling really calm and relaxed, that's something else that you can do that we learn in yoga besides breathing that can calm our bodies and our minds. So if you're ever feeling overly anxious or upset or any other feeling that doesn't feel good to you, then you can crawl into your child's pose or your seed pose and curl up and imagine that once all of these feelings that you don't want to feel pass, then you can perk right up once again and smile and feel bright and cheerful like a flower or a tree. So let's go ahead and lie on our backs, and we're going to draw a storm in the sky. Lift your knees into your chest and then straighten your legs up to the sky. First, we need to draw some clouds if we're going to have a stormy sky. So begin with one foot, drawing some circles or other different shapes, any shape that you want for your clouds. And then the other foot. And you can color them in dark or any color you want, really. This is your sky, so your sky will look any way that you would like it to look, different than anyone else's. And lower your foot down to the ground. Keep your other foot up in the sky. And start to paint some lightning in the sky in any direction, zigzags, up and down, side to side. And put that foot down on the ground, lift your other foot up, and use this side to paint some lightning. And then stretch both feet to the sky. And let's hear some thunder. You can click your feet together. You can touch the soles of your feet together by clapping. Yeah. You can move your legs up and down as fast as you like, or even pat your feet on the ground and make some thunder like that, as fast or as slow. Lift your legs to the sky. And start to see the rain coming down from the sky. So move one leg down and up and the other leg down and up, making it rain as hard or as soft as you would like. You can move your legs faster or slower. And look up and see the rain disappearing and white fluffy clouds rolling in. So you can draw your white fluffy clouds with 2 feet. You can use 1 foot. And your clouds, of course, can be any shape you want. Whenever you look in the sky, don't you look up and you see clouds that are all different shapes? Sometimes you can see animals in the shapes of the clouds. And now look up in the sky and see the sun peeking through the clouds. You make your big giant circles for your sun. And then the big, beautiful rays of the sun shooting out and getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And oftentimes, after a good storm, comes a rainbow. So let's move our legs to one side and then the other and paint the sky with all the colors of the rainbow. We'll move right and left for red, and then orange and yellow and green and blue and purple and violet. And finally, hug your knees into your chest and wiggle around and around and around to one side and then to the other side, around and around and around. Roll all the way up and curl yourself back up into your seed pose once again. And just like the seed knows, once the storm passes, it too can feel sunny and perky and beautiful once again. Sit tall in easy pose, crisscross applesauce. Inhale your arms up to the sky. You breathe in and reach. And breathe out and lower your arms down. We'll do that a little bit faster. So this is our sun breath. We're going to heat our bodies up through our sun breath. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, make your sound. Breathe in, reach up for the sun. Breathe out, make your sound. So sometimes we can feel like stormy weather, angry or upset or agitated, and we know those feelings won't last forever, just like the storm won't last forever. So there's always peace, just like there's a rainbow on the other side after the storm passes. And peace always begins with you. Bring your hands to the ground and pat with me. Peace begins 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 with me. And come onto your hands and your knees now. Stretch our backs all the way up and lift your tail up and look forward. Peace round your back begins. Look forward, tail up. With me, round your back all the way forward. Let's go. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. And on your backs now, once again, we'll paint some rainbows in the sky, looking at how peaceful it is. Lift your hips up and lift your arms up. Peace, lower down, begins, lift up with lower down, me, just like that. Peace, as you paint your rainbows, begins with me. Peace begins with me. Curl your knees into your chest. Give yourself a great big hug. Stretch your legs to the sky. And finally, the very last thing we do in yoga is we rest our bodies on the ground without a sound. The most peaceful and most relaxed position that we could possibly feel after all of our movements. So hold your legs to the sky first before we finally rest our ground. Before we finally rest on the ground without a sound. We'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give yourself a great big hug once again. Really squeeze yourself tight. Open your arms to one side or to both sides and drop your knees to one side. Take a breath in through your nose and a breath out. Give yourself a great big hug once again. Open your arms wide. Drop your knees to the other side. Take a great big breath in through your nose. And breathe out. Hug your knees in. And finally, stretch your legs long so your arms and your legs are resting on the ground. Your whole body is safe and sound. Breathe in through your nose and open your mouth, sigh it out. If you'd like to keep your arms at your sides, you may do so if that's comfortable for you. If you'd like to move your hands over your belly and that makes you feel safe, then please do. Stay here and continue to imagine that you're smelling your favorite flower every time you breathe in, and that you feel safe and sound every time you breathe out. And while you're resting on the ground, I'll read a rainbow story to you while you relax. Keep breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And listen. Put a picture in your mind of a long and wide dark cloud. And imagine it floating in the sky, bringing rain and wind, thunder and lightning. From a safe and dry place, you can feel the wind on your face and the rumbles of the thunder and the earth. Breathe smoothly and imagine that you can smell the sweetness of the rain. Allow your skin to notice the breeze. It is cool and gentle on the back of your hands and on your face and on your whole body. The cloud with the storm is drifting away. Imagine that you open your eyes to see what the storm has left. A blue sky, the sun peeking through the remaining clouds. And then you see a rainbow forming right before your eyes. It reaches from one side of the sky all the way to the other. All the colors are present, glowing and sparkling brilliantly. You can see a ribbon of each: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and violet. You can enjoy this moment because you know the storm has left this kind of beauty for you to see. And this storm reminds you that there's always peace and calm on the other side. Just like there is on days when you're feeling a little stormy inside. Just know the storm always passes and leaves you feeling calm with beauty all around. So we can silently thank the storm. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and your nose, and begin to sit tall in easy pose, crisscross applesauce. Keep your eyes closed and notice the peace and calm in your body. And reach your arms up as you breathe in through your nose. Touch your hands together and bring them right in front of your heart as you breathe out. And give thanks to your heart by looking down at your hands,
Thanks to your heart for keeping you alive, for always beating for you, and for always showing you the beauty on the other side of the storm. Reach your arms up, breathe in, and breathe out. Hands together. Namaste. Namaste and have a good day. Thank you everyone for practicing yoga with me today.